Hi, I'm Leo, and in this video we'll be going over nested for loop. So basically, when you place a loop inside a for loop, it becomes a nested for loop. So the outer loop must be a for loop, and the inner loop can be either a for loop or a while loop. So that's what nested for loop is all about. Now we have a question here. It says write a function that prints 10 times the alphabet in lowercase followed by a new line. So it says the prototype what to use is void print alphabet times 10 void. Now when you look at this, what it's trying to tell you is that the name of the function is going to be print alphabet times 10. Now because this function is not going to be having any parameters, that's why we have void here and we have void there. Now let's look at the question closely. You're going to see we're doing two things. We're going to need two loops. Now the first one is going to be counting from 1 to 10, or from 0 to 9 in this case, and the second loop is going to be writing the alphabets from A to Z. So it's more or less we have two loops. First one will count, the outer one will count 1 or 0 to 9, and then the second loop is going to be counting the alphabet from A to Z, and then followed by a new line. All right, so we'll move to code block, and I'll show you how to answer this question. All right, so we have our prototype here. So the next thing we're going to do is we have to declare two variables which we're going to use as placeholders for the alphabet and for the counting. So let's use char for the alphabet, and it's going to be, let's call it ch. Now for the counting, we're going to use int because it's an integer. And so we start with the first loop. Let's say for I equal to 0, I equal to 0, and I less than 10, I less than 10, I less than 10. So that means we're counting from 0 to 9. Then we increment I plus plus. I think that's that for that. And we open up our curly braces. Now, inside this for loop, we're going to place the loop, which is going to count or help us get the alphabets. So we're still using a for loop here. So we have 4. We're going to be having ch. Ch is going to be starting from A, so we're going to have it from A. Remember, it's in lowercase, and we close that, and our ch is also going to be less than or equal to Z, and that's the last letter. So it's going to fetch A down all the way to Z, and then we'll close that, and then we'll put an increment ch plus plus. I think that's all. So now let's print this out. So we open up our curly braces. Inside these curly braces, we're going to print. So we do printf, and now we're printing char. So we put our quotation mark, put our %c. That's for char. Then put a comma. Then put the name of the variable. Okay, I think we close the line. That's that. Now they also said we have to okay, so we're done with this. So now the way loop works is it's going to start from the outer loop. If the outer loop is true, it will go to the inner loop. So it will keep printing the inner loop until the inner loop is false, and then it will go to the outer loop. Now if you look at the inner loop, it's going to print A to Z. Once it gets to Z, the inner loop is false, so it's going to jump out of the inner loop and go to the outer loop. So after that, immediately after printing A to Z, we want it to put a new line. So that's why I'll be putting a new line immediately after the inner loop. So here we're going to write printf, and to put a new line, we have our backward slash n, and then we'll close. So that's that for that. And I think that's all. So after doing this, we have to call the variable. So as usual, we use int main, and we'll open up our curly braces, and we'll just copy the prototype. And then we'll return 0. Okay, I think that's all. Let's build and run and see what we have. There's a little problem somewhere. I'm trying to figure it out. So let's build and run and see what we have. So you can see it has printed the alphabets from A to Z, and it has done that like 10 times. So you can see it. So the question is actually simple. All right, thanks for watching. And if you want simplified videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video.